Hey guys, Original Boris here, back yet again for another movie review. Today, the movie I am going to review is another Stephen King movie. That is Riding the Bullet, based on a Stephen King story. And honestly, I can say that this story had a lot of potential. It could have been made into a good movie, but in my opinion, it wasn't really made into a very good movie. The story was good, but it could have been done so much better. I did not really care for this movie. I thought it was poorly made, and to me, it was they just could have done a better job with it. The story is about this college student. It's supposed to take place in 1969, which they actually messed up because they're supposed to be in 1969, and then they also make a lot of references to the 70s. They talk about Cheech and Chong and a few other things that had to do with the 70s and that weren't really in 1969. So it was supposed to be in 69, but like I said, they just made a lot of references to the 70s and a lot of the 70s style in it, and that just kind of ruined it a little bit right there. But it's about this kid who's in college, and he gets a phone call that his mom has had a stroke and she's in the hospital. So he had some tickets to a Beatles concert, but he ends up giving them to a friend so that they can go, and he decides he's going to go to be with his mom. Problem is he doesn't have a car, so he decides he's going to hitchhike. Along the way, as he's hitchhiking, as soon as he starts hitchhiking, a lot of things start happening. Every hitchhiker, every car that picks him up, something's wrong with that guy. And he keeps having visions about certain things. That's another thing about this movie. It keeps flashing back to the past, and then it keeps flashing to the forward. Like he sees himself. He's like a schizophrenic who talks to himself. Only you see him, and then you see another version of him, and then you see him thinking ahead of what's going to happen, and then something will happen, and then it'll flash back where he's standing there before it'll happen, and you think that it was just him thinking that that's going to happen. So after a while, the first couple of times that it was flashing forward, it was kind of interesting, but then it started happening so much, it was redundant and just got kind of boring and lame after a while. He starts running into people from his past, people he hasn't met yet, but he's eventually going to meet. He comes to realize how his father really died. He had thought that his father had died in a car crash, but he finds out his father had committed suicide. He ends up running into like this guy that's played by David Arquette, that's supposed to be like the Grim Reaper, and is letting him make a choice of whether or not he's going to die or his mom's going to die. And then he starts again with the flash forwarding of what happens if he's going to die, what happens if his mom's going to die. Like I said, this movie's just all over the place. It's not really scary. The scenes that are supposed to be scary are so predictable. It doesn't really make you jump because you just see them coming. Or even if you don't see them coming, they're just so poorly made. It wasn't really scary. So I just couldn't really. It wasn't Stephen King's best film. It was, like I said, it was a great story. It had great potential, but it wasn't really made into a good movie, in my opinion. The movie stars Jonathan Jackson, Erica Christensen, and David Arquette. And it was made in 2004, and it is 98 minutes long. And this car right here, this red car, it kind of looks like the car from Christine. And it seems like there are so many of them in the movie. Like everybody's driving a car that looks like the Christine car. After a while, it just becomes redundant. So every scene you see like a red car that's like supposed to look like Christine, and which Christine was a great movie, but leave it at that. This movie was just it was poorly made, in my opinion. So don't want to say anything bad about Stephen King movies because Stephen King's the man. He's a great author, but this movie was just not made into a good movie. So if you want to check it out, check it out. But I didn't really care for it myself. So there you go. Stephen King's Riding the Bullet. Predictable, poorly made, and very slow paced and unentertaining. But that's my opinion of it. You might think differently. So check it out. Stephen King's Riding the Bullet. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Bye.